Hey Pisces, welcome to my channel. Happy New Year, guys. It's January. It's my favorite time of year while I'm currently recording. It is the last week of December, which means it's that time of year where collectively we're all kind of looking back over the year we've had and really kind of focusing on what needs to change, what we let go of, and that kind of energy that's really releasing. And then we start making new goals and start thinking about better choices for ourselves, which is amazing. And it's a great energy for you to hop onto the back of and really boost your intentions, like make things happen for yourself. So I love it. All of a sudden we've got some wind. Please don't blow my cards away. That one. I'm using the Lady Cavendish, Lucy. I keep calling her Lady. You're a lady, Lucy. Same name as me too. Lucy Cavendish, her Shapeshifter deck. It is my favorite deck. I resonate with Lucy in like every way, I swear. And so all her decks are amazing. I highly recommend. But also I'm using her Hidden Worlds one as well as the keywords. And I'm using the... Okay, that wants to go there. The Work Your Light Oracle by Rebecca Campbell, yeah, as well for my keyword cards. So if you follow me, I kind of just go with what I'm drawn to. So I stand in front of my cards and I'm like, it's you. It has to be you. Like that Taylor Swift song, it's you guys. It's me or whatever. I don't know. I don't really listen to Taylor Swift anymore, but that song's kind of been all over TikTok, hasn't it? The truck's about to drive past, so that also needs to be there apparently. It's a bit loud a second, it's passing. I am outside. My office is full of boxes and it's all piled up. There was just no space and it would have taken me ages to clear it all. It's Christmas and I'm moving at some point. So we're outside and I'm loving it actually. It's giving me this really cool positive vibes. Anyway, Pisces, let's begin. Let's see what's in store for you for January. So as I was saying, this time of year is about reflecting. So astrologically, January, the first 2 weeks, we have 3 planets retrograding during this time. And specifically, our good friend Mercury in retrograde is popping up just during this time. So my general guidance is to not take action, but to reflect and kind of relax into the year. Obviously, we can't always do that, but really with that, it's, don't force yourself to make any rash decisions and kind of observe the energies that are kind of appearing for you, I guess is what I want to say. You have Poseidon's daughter, Pisces. This is giving me Pisces vibes straight away anyway. You've been given everything you need. So you have everything you need in your life. I actually feel like this is referring to all that you've been through in your life. And I mean literally from the day you were born up until this moment. I feel like you've been given everything you need. The tools in order to grab. Sorry, I have been talking to a lady in town and my outfit in the sun is stretched. Damn it. Definitely have a whole veil of it's like having a load of tools beneath your coat. It's in those movies where you have them really shady, sneaky kind of characters that have like watches and things under their shirt when they open it. That's what I see here. It's like you have all of these tools that you've collected over the years. I actually kind of, as I'm saying that, it's like some of them you may have collected by not being vibing high. You may have vibed low quite a lot, especially for this last year. And this has given you more tools. When we vibe low, there's this saying or quotes, I don't know who, what, where, when, that when you are at your lowest, you're the closest to God. You're closest to the universe. Whatever it is your faith believes in, you're the closest to the divine. So with that, what you learn when you go through those things are tools for you to use for when you're vibing highest. That's why those that helped the best, like healers, like myself, when I have been through really big lows, it helps me to be compassionate towards people and help people in ways that comes from a place of understanding. And that is what it does for ourselves, for every individual that goes through anything that's tragic, that's, even if it doesn't, like sometimes when I've been through things in my life, I think, oh, my life's not been, you look at some people and you're like, whoa, you've been through so much. And I used to always look at mine and think, like, even though I feel so hard done by it, like I've had an okay life, remembering again, like, trauma hits people differently. You might not have been through something that is chaotic, but it hit you like it was, like a big bus ramming into you. For some reason I feel like those moments are creating something for you to use or utilize in your life. I kind of get a career change, a job change. I feel like you can't do what you've always done or what you've been doing more recent. It needs to change. You need to shift with who you are now today, shift with the person you've become. So keep that in mind, Pisces. Beginning, initiate, origin, or Aurora Garden. Oh, it's so beautiful. You're definitely creating something new. We all are, right? We're in this era where what was is not good enough. And it's not that it wasn't good enough. It's now it's not. Now is all about new. It's about being authentic and going for what is actually resonates with you, not just that is a means to an end. I feel like this is what you're creating for yourself. I do feel like up until this point you have always created maybe a means to an end, or at least for some of you. I feel like that has got you to where you are today, but it's no longer working. Something needs to change. I am definitely feeling this need to change. However, you have everything you need in order to go through this transaction very easily, but you have to initiate it. I do feel like this is something that you need to put in your energy towards, but this is not the time to act on it at the beginning of January. Act on it on the second half of January. I feel like, because I'm saying this, if you feel the desire to, go with it. Trust your instincts, 100%. However, sorry, that's an Aussie thing. I realised that the other day, that's an Aussie thing. 100%. Anyway, sorry, sidetracked. Yeah, trust your instinct. However, the energies that are in the air, planetary, it's advising us to not take any time to action as such, but to reflect. So this is time to think on what this could mean for you, how you could go about creating it, and really just observing those thought patterns, observing those ideas, to then start the stepping stones at the end of January. Remember that when we go and we begin creating something, the best plan of action is not to rush and not to force. It is to take a risk and take a leap of faith, and dive into something, but it doesn't mean to swim to the very end. And I feel like really for this year, that's what we need to realize, is there's no end goal. Something doesn't have to come to a complete circle all the time. It can continue and evolve, but it's not going to stay the same, because there's no end. It's like when we build a building, it is not solid forever. It will crack, the foundations move, because everything changes, and change is good. And again, so when we're on the building point, the buildings begin to crack and shift, and it's renovated, it's changed, it's healed, it's fixed, but it's never the same as when it was originally built, for a reason, because nothing's supposed to stay the same. So remember that, Pisces. The butterfly ferrets, I am reborn. And also the secret garden of Camelot, authority of spirit. So I am reborn. You're growing and changing to something new. I do feel like I want you to look back to the beginning of 2022 to now. Are you that same person going into that year as you are now? 100% you're not. Saying it again. You're not. But can you see that? Can you see the differences? Can you see the changes? I want you to see yourself as new. Instead of just being you. This is weird because it's all about being yourself. But I feel like perhaps previously you haven't been, and that's the point. You're reborn to be in this position where you can be yourself. This could be like relationships, like now you are able to be who you are and to be yourself. Or career-wise, you're able to take like a step that's more in alignment with who you are, that feels authentic to you, rather than just, again, a means to an end that's something that you've just been good at, and so that's what you chose. So keep that in mind. You have authority from the divine to go for this, to take leaps. I feel like you are kind of seeking permission as well. Like you feel as though you can't. It's really weird, this feeling, so I'm just going to let it flow out how it flows out. It's like feeling as though, again, like you need permission from someone to be yourself, because I feel like there's been there's walls and walls and walls, and it's like saying, is it okay really for me to enjoy myself? Is it okay for me to not be the sole provider? Like, I feel like you're asking permission for this, and the answer is yes, of course. You are not expected to be anything but who you are, and that's in every moment. You don't always have to be the best at everything. You don't always have to have the answers. And the thing is, like, we actually never really do have the answer. I'm just gonna put this towel over the back of the laptop so we don't overheat, because the sun is just peering. I had an old lady visitor, and she chats for a long time, and she took into my recording time where the light was at its best for heating up my equipment. So the answer is yes, and I feel like you need to give yourself permission, and feel comfortable in that. I am reborn. You are guided through this, and I feel like you have levels of support that maybe you didn't have before. This is why I'm leaning on relationship, being that I feel perhaps the relationships you've been in before, you were more of a support, and I feel like now the relationships that you're getting into are very supportive of you just doing whatever's right for you. And I'm loving that. It's feeling very, very good, very warm. I feel like they want you to be your best self, or the best version of yourself. And I do feel like you are, they want you to feel like you have your purpose. Maybe aside from them, actually, Pisces. Maybe you are taking a step back and focusing on them. Maybe it's a little bit too much. Keep that in mind, and if that is something to you, I feel like you're holding on too tight, and they feel a little bit like you're a little bit intense in your authority. Yeah, so you need to allow people in your life to have freedom as much as they are allowing you to have that as well. It is a balance. When we're in relationships, we need to realize that we need a balance. If you want someone who's going to allow you freedom to explore who you are, you need to do the same and offer them the same. It is that transaction of energy, but it's also coming from a mutual place of love. When you are gifting somebody that mutual respect of them to fly and blossom and be their best self, that's what you're attracting to yourself as well. And I feel like it's the best gift you can give somebody that you love. So bear that in mind. We have the Mermaid of immersion and complete commitment. And you have that paired with the Age of Light. You've been training for this for many lifetimes. You're definitely supported. You're supported in your endeavors. Let me see what this comes through for you, Pisces. So you definitely have many avenues you can take. And I feel like it's like no matter what you decide, it's going to come with luxuries. As I say that, it's kind of like whatever you do, you're going to get the blessings. You know, you will be blessed and it will be successful. However, I feel like there's not a one like box kind of thing here. This is what I am seeing being a pattern with 2023, that there will be nice surprises. Things might not go the way we expect, because I feel as though what we expect, there's better than that, and it will shift and change in a good way. So 2022, I feel like it's like we had bumps where you think you're doing good, and then it's like a hit in the road, and it's like a pullback. I feel like it's the opposite. Like we think things are going good, and then it shifts and changes for the better. So it's actually even better than what we imagined. I feel like it's going to be more on the positive, whereas 2022 felt like it was kind of more negative inspired. So that is to support us more into our level of independence. Now, retrograding planets. I feel like I need to just touch on that as I get there. We have, so Mercury in retrograde for 2 weeks, give or take. That's the beginning of January. It's like right now energy. This is communication. So anything that does come up, observe it. We have Mars in retrograde. So do not allow yourself to conflict. If there is anything that comes up in forms of communication that really stirs something inside of you, resist the urge to be impulsive, but Mars in retrograde will make you want to be impulsive, so there may be dynamics here. But the energy here is supported to make you realize how you are reactive and change your ways in that way, or it's to help you see things that need to be released and dropped off from others and things like that as well. With this mermaid of immersion, I feel as though there are habits and toxic things that need to drop, and the fact that we touched on you maybe being a bit smothering of somebody, this could be a bad habit that needs to shift and change from you, and be acknowledged by you. I do feel like you can be blindsided in your one path direction, thinking everything's fine, and then when things go wrong you're not sure why. I feel like there's something here with that. If you acknowledge that's your energy that you are putting on somebody else, I don't feel like it's an issue. It's more like if there are little things that arise, that's where to start looking for you, some guidance there for you. Also, we have Uranus in retrograde in Taurus. It's in Taurus, right? It's all about home life. It's about building long term. It's about comfort, luxury. It's about freedom. Uranus is freedom. It's independence. So everybody is driven towards a level of independence. So we feel this desire. So if something makes us feel stuck and claustrophobic, you're going to be dropped like a hat if you're going to be like that. I'm going to just say it to you, Pisces. So be aware of your energy, because we are all being driven like that. But you may also, and freedom looks different to everyone. So some people's freedom will be to be in that kind of scenario. So obviously only if it causes bumps. I do feel like it's something you need to check yourself on. It just keeps niggling at me. So again, be aware of that, Pisces. And it could be friendships, but I'm just feeling relationship more so, to be honest. But yeah, we're all about craving some level of independence. So that's why you are being driven this way, of why new beginnings and changes need to happen for you, because changes are what we're all being told needs to happen. We need to make necessary changes towards leading towards our authentic freedom within our lives. Freedom looks different to everybody. Freedom to you could be that you want to have security in an area of your life. That feels very relevant as I'm saying that. Your security, what is it? Which area is it your focus needing to be? And I feel that's the point. That's where your focus needs to be. We have Wolves of Venice. You are far, far away from home. Unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts and past lives. Also with the Path of the Gods, decisions, meetings, future plans. Okay, where to start? It's basically what I have said already, so definitely on the right track. You are far, far away from home. I feel like you really are shifting and changing with something. I feel like you don't have a home yet. And I feel like within areas of your life that you are content with, I say content, and I hate that word because I don't feel like we're supposed to stay contented. We're supposed to have excitement and thrill in our lives in order to have purpose. Not all the time. It's okay to feel content, but in this sort of way I feel as though, so the areas that are going okay, and they're the ones that you want to keep. So I'm okay with that and I'm happy with that. But I feel like the way you're contented is keeping you stagnant and stuck. And I do think that it is kind of affecting your community and affecting those connections. You need to be home. So maybe this is moving. Maybe this is letting go of something that once was, or that you have, that again it could even be a home, letting go of a home, or a living situation that no longer serves you. The towel has been blown away. Damn it. I just get this sense of having to let go of something and finding what is home to you. No, home's not necessarily a building. Sometimes a home is a person. Sometimes a home is traveling. It's being comfortable in yourself. That is home. For so long, I always felt like I never felt like at home, and I still get that from time to time. But through my epiphanies and my spiritual growth, I learned that home, like they say where home is where the heart is, to me, like home is wherever I am, if I make it that way. It's about being comfortable with who I am and my situations that I'm in and the people I'm surrounded with. If I don't feel comfortable with that, then I no longer feel safe, I don't feel grounded, I don't feel home. So when I do have disruptions with people in my life, with any situations, I then lose that feeling of home. And that's what this is giving me for you, Pisces. Unbound. Again, this gives me the sense of not feeling at home. You're not connected. You're unbound. You're released. This to me is happening for a reason. You're releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives, which we touched on over here. Pisces, I feel like there definitely is a bad habit that you've been dropping, and I want to say you're doing a good job. I want to say you're doing really well in that. But I want to say, like, don't stop, because there's work still. And this is what we're touching on here. There's still something, and I feel like it's because you never saw this as an issue personally. But I think in the last year for you Pisces, I told you that you need to let go of this, and work on this. And again, it just comes down to it's how you are in a relationship. I feel like you have a very dominating energy, and that's awesome sometimes when it is channeled in a good way, like having that good masculine leadership energy. It works when you have a partner who is like your yin yang, the opposite of you. However, I feel like really your dominating energy, it is a wound that needs to be assessed. Like, why are you like this? Is it because of the relationship experiences you have had prior? And I had a discussion with my dad, which is a Pisces actually, coincidentally. How I was saying with these patterns, so I was saying I think that his relationship with his parents stems with how he is in his life and his connections with friendships and how he is with people. I had a little discussion with him about that, but that's the whole point. It's like going down to the root and realizing this can really help you to start seeing that you do have an unhealthy pattern that maybe does reach to, like, this is what reaches to the demise of relationships. Maybe you are too overpowering, and that pushes somebody else to seek something else. Now, them going elsewhere is no excuse, and you're not the reason for that. But everything has a chain of events, and we have to own our own energy. And this is what I'm feeling for you, is owning your own energy. Now, I want you to decide that you're going to be your best self. So you need to do what you need to do to get to that space. Focus on you. You have a decision. I feel as though you need to start planning for the future and have goals. I think that you work best when you have a goal in sight. Now, I have been saying to everybody, you need to be flexible with goals, and you do. Don't just have one expectation and that the way it go, because then when we have hurdles in the way, it hinders our success, it hinders our progress, and it could take a lot longer to get there, or we just give up because it didn't work out the way we wanted. I feel like you need to have a goal in sight, though, with something you wish to desire to create. And this could simply be, I want to feel like I'm at home again. I want to feel whole again. So this starts with realizing, what do you need right now in that situation? Baby steps, stepping stones. Do you need to feel better in yourself? Starts with eating habits, starts with sleeping patterns, it starts with working out patterns, it starts with getting outdoors with nature, getting enough sunlight, making sure you're fueling your body. Those things you have full capacity to incorporate into your life. It's not a big step. These are little things that are major. They make major improvements in other areas. And this is the ripple effect. I kind of want you to start creating a ripple effect towards a future goal. Whatever, however big or small it is, start small, get bigger. And actually, my dad being a Pisces, we had great conversations throughout my life. That whenever I talk to my dad, sometimes I figure out my own stuff. That turns out that's my archetype. But my dad was a great person for this through my childhood and my teenage years. That's why I have that kind of fond memory with that. It's windy. Where was I going with that? Sorry, I've lost my trail of thoughts. I'm losing my cards now. I am just going to fix that up before we start, or else I'll start freaking out. My cards are blowing away. I'm going to just read this quickly for you because it blew out. Maybe there's something for you too. You will not let fear stop you this time. Okay? You will not let fear stop you this time. Okay, where was I going with this? Yeah, he said what works best for him is to always have a goal. He's a Pisces, and perhaps this is a Pisces thing. But he would have something like, say he wanted to own a villa in a foreign country. He did, he got that. That would be like one goal. And then his next goal might be that one day he wants to own several properties. And he would just work towards these. And these are big lifetime, these are big goals. It wasn't like a year's time kind of thing. These are goals that he would work towards over time, and that helped him to have a focus. And I feel like that's something you need to do. But again, start smaller. So he started by wanting his first car. He then wanted a house, you know what I mean, and then the villa, and then this, and then that. You grow it as you accomplish things. I kind of think, again, I'm using my dad because he is a Pisces, and it's relevant with my trail of thought. He feels a little bit lost right now as well, and I think it's because he stopped having his big goals. So Dad, if you do watch this, get a goal. Work on it. And this is what I'm seeing for you, Pisces. Make a future goal and just take those steps to get to there. There we go. You ready? The Golden Phoenix. Something you thought finished burst back into life. A golden phoenix. So a phoenix dies. It kind of sheds the old. It dies and perishes into a pile of ash, and then it is reborn into new. It's still a phoenix. It's still alive. It's the same life reborn, potentially. I mean, I don't know that for a fact, but you know what I mean, like it's being reborn. So symbologically, big word, this to me, it's like saying that you once have felt the way that you want to feel now, so you can get that back. This is what I'm seeing for you, Pisces. I feel like this should be a focus for you. It's getting something back, and it feels more like a lease of life. Or again, that aspect of aiming and reaching for a goal. The seer. If there's, and again, with that card, it's coming through in the exact same way as this seer. If there's somebody who speaks wise words that can help you through this, you are supported. You've got the support up here with that ferrets as well, being reborn. And both of these cards signify reborn. And I have this sense that there's someone supportive who wants you to be happy, who wants you to be your best self. But this again is future prospects, decisions to make, seeking guidance. So seek guidance where you need it. If you need to speak to somebody, and again, like I said for myself, speaking to other people helps me get my mind in track with what I want and what I feel. It's not the words that they say half the time. It's the words that I say that make me realize what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, and what I actually want to do in regards to what it is. And I feel like that could be beneficial to you too, but also seek advice from those that know about the area of your life that you're wishing to change. So again, if you're wanting to get into fitness, speak to a trainer on the best way for your body type, for your lifestyle. What's the best way for you to incorporate fitness that works for you around your lifestyle, whatever it may be. That kind of inspiration. So again, it might not be fitness, but whatever it is for you, the equivalent. Future prospects, you definitely have things to be looking forward to. You have decisions to make, and I think it is about getting your head straight on what it is you want. Again, I feel like you may have been running around like a headless chicken for a little while. I'm getting that imagery in my brain of you being a headless chicken, and that's just not working for you. It's time for you to screw your head back on. Again, it's a time of reflection. You don't have to have all the ideas, and I feel like you need to reflect on that and take this time to kind of make inventory of what it is that you're desiring and where you want to be before taking those baby steps. There's definitely knowledge to gain. Snake Princess, the serpentine path to power, which means you're going good places. You're on the right path. You have Akasha. Your guidance is divinely guided. You're meant to be going through this. When you're going through next level stuff, it starts feeling uncomfortable, and we start feeling like really detached from life. That is normal, and it's okay. You're meant to feel this way because it's meant to make you really focus on areas of your life. But this is meant to happen. I feel like whatever disruptions you've had, it's because you're not on the right path to your happiness, is what I want to say, to your goals, and you're being made and forced. It's like being forced in this moment to make wiser choices. They're in alignment with you. But the serpentine path to power, it's about gaining wisdom. So if you do need to learn more about where you want to be or take a new direction, learn the skills you need or start going down the avenues of seeking guidance towards that kind of way of learning. I just get the sense of changing and it being something that might be not fully in your comfort zone. I feel like just take it, snap it up. You need to be starting thinking about taking good, happy risks. And I just feel like taking risks, but it doesn't feel risky. It's just more about taking a leap, actually, towards your path of power. It's like taking adventure. You already have the knowledge, you already have the wisdom, but I feel like you need to be embracing that way of thinking, that it's not too late to learn something new. It's not too late to take a different path. And it's taking the path of wisdom, of the unknown, knowing that you're going to be okay. Okay, Pisces. Yeah, definitely seek counsel. You definitely need to talk to someone. You might need therapy. Sorry guys, I'm reading the cards. Heed wise counsel. You literally have the seer. You have the snake, which is wisdom. It's about gaining knowledge about something, seeking counsel, and listen. So this, again, you coming here and listening to me and watching this video is very much that. You are seeking counsel. You're trying to connect with your guides, with the universe, to find the answers. That is a very good step. And perhaps you need a personal reading that will help guide you again on this. Like, that's the seer. You have the seer. You have the snake, wisdom. It's like traditional wise wisdom that's flowing through the ages, and seeking it and listening, taking it in. I feel as though it's just, you really do need to stop and get out of your own stubbornness and listen to what the world has to say. I feel like maybe where you're at, you're still stuck in what was. What is now is not the world 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. Nothing is the same. If you were to be in your parents' shoes, the age you are, they are not living in the same world. That world doesn't exist anymore. Like, the world has shifted. Times have changed. So sometimes the way and the opinions that we created from the childhood we grew up in, if you are not allowing yourself to be in the modern world, witnessing the way that things are changing, the acceptance that we have in the world, and the beauty in that, because it's so beautiful. People being themselves, people laughing and smiling, enjoying each other's company, not caring about any of the politics around what that person loves and likes and does, and fucks. Like, when you start being so opinionated about someone's life, you're stuck in an old ways. It's about really not caring, but caring. We're caring so much that we don't care about what that person chooses or loves and is drawn to. It's just about appreciating them for who they are. And I feel like it's a new way of being. I don't know why I went on that spiral. It means something to you, Pisces. It means something. Your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. So by doing this and coming to this new sense of being and this new world that we're creating, because we're creating this world we're in. I remember saying something to my dad. We had a very big conversation about sexuality, race, and all sorts, because he had like hours to waste, so I had a really long phone call with him. Anyway, and like, we did touch on all of this stuff. And like I was saying to him, I don't want to treat people how society is. I want to treat people how I want society to be. Why are we acting how we don't want to be? Like, we don't want hate in the world, and yet so many people are hating because that's what they've been taught, and it's integrated into all of ourselves. Create the world you want. If you want to have a world that is much better and much more accepting, be that vision and have that. And that's what I was saying to my dad, that I'm not going to act the way that I'm told to act. I'm going to act the way that I want the world to be in, because I want to live in that world. I don't want to live in this one. It was like that. Orca magic, Akashic libraries open and they're gathering. Community, kinship, companionship. Very interesting. You're definitely coming into a new spiritual space, Pisces. I actually think like last month or the month before we had this as well. Are you really evolving? And I feel like that's why you're having these lows that we touched on, maybe having those low moments, being closer to divinity. It's about really coming into this new way of being. And what you were before that low doesn't resonate with you now as you're coming up more higher and higher. And I feel like you are going to be vibrating really high this year because you're going to put in the effort. But again, you do have to put in the work to achieve the goals and reach those highs that you're desiring. But yeah, community, I feel like coming together with people is going to be your asset. I do feel like if anything that you're changing involves people, not seclusion anymore. I feel as though in the beginning, no, we've got people. Yeah, people. There's nothing here that says be by yourself. It feels as though you have been secluding yourself for some time, And I just feel like you need to be reigning in your community and realizing you have more support than what potentially you feel like. Because when we go through those, like leading up to that hurt moment, we retract and we go within. That is spiritual growth. That's your body telling you that there's something you need to be healing from. There's something you need to just relax and allow your body to heal. Allow your mind to be at peace. That means stopping all the social noise and all the mess. But now I feel is your time to really bloom, open yourself up, and start inviting that community back in and realizing that you do have this support system. I do feel like you have to let something go, and I think it's a hold on something. Again, be wary of how you are in relationships is going to be the little kind of warning I want to say to you. I do feel like you just need to realize that if somebody's meant for you, you don't have to hold on so tight. They're not going anywhere. But that's something you've learned. So keep that in mind. Thank you so much, Pisces, for being here. Please subscribe to my channel to keep up to date. Remember, it's a transaction of energy, so every like and comment and subscription that you give me is really like a big thank you, and I greatly appreciate it. And yeah, you keep up to date with all of your monthly readings and possibly more depending on how my year goes with the building of this channel. Thank you so much, guys. Happy New Year and many blessings to you.